Guys, so today what you're going to do is the 3.3 practice. So you're going to be identifying the rhetorical situation in a speech. So you're going to glue this little paper down. It's found in the handout basket up front. And you're going to write down the title of the text that you're reading. So your text is available online. There are a few printed copies if you really don't want to read it online. So you're just going to go through each of these and you're going to jot down answers to all these questions. Bullet points is absolutely okay. If when you get down to the bottom, you actually want to copy some of the lines of the text as evidence, like if you have a really good example of language for pathos, or if you have a really good logos argument, you can always copy those word for word. Practice good MLA using quotes and citing as necessary. All right, so I'm practicing and modeling using the I Have a Dream speech by Dr. King. So, who is my speaker? It's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He's a civil rights leader, he's a Baptist minister. If you don't know who the speaker is or who they are at the time that they give the speech, do a quick Google search, okay? Look at what is their background. Who were they? Who were they around that time period? Because the speaker that you have for your speech is a very notable person from history, but this is before the major part of their career. So there should be a big piece that you don't put on here about their career because it hasn't happened yet at the time of the speech. All right, and then you're going to make sure that you answer all of the questions. So, like, how does he establish ethos? Well, I look at, well, he's a great orator, he's a great speaker, he's a minister. He also references very seminal and yet public, well known documents to build his credibility. So he's referencing things like the Bible, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. All of that is helping to build his credibility. So make sure that you're looking at all parts of the question and answering all parts. This whole page is going to get super, super filled up. And again, you can work with a partner on this, but you can't have a partner do this for you. All right, so then you're going to look at the audience. So, like, who is directly in front of this person giving them, and how would you describe them? You can't just say people. You can't just say everyone. It's got to be more specific. So, like for the I Have a Dream, I know it's the American people. I know it's civil rights, people who are pro civil rights, but also, like, let's be honest, he was also really trying to talk to people who are in opposition of civil rights. He was talking to lawmakers. He was also, like, indirectly trying to rally activists together, even common citizens who couldn't be there that day at the March on Washington. He's also addressing families. There's several times where he talks about, like, our future children, things like that. But he's also talking to the government because he wants things to be changed. So I could add a little bit more about how do I know, maybe a little quote or a word choice that he uses to help me understand that. All right, the medium. So this is like, how is it presented? Everybody's doing a speech. Okay, so that's going to be one thing. But then what I want you to really look at is, how is it organized? What is the structure? We got an intro, and speeches always end with a call to action. So that's two parts that are done for you. But what about all the middle stuff? Like, how is it organized and how does it help appeal to the audience? Okay. The next is context. So this is the one that you might actually have to start Googling or do some research. You might have a little bit of the information that's hinted in the speech, but some of it you may not know because you were not around in 1854. So if you are a buff of US history, great, you probably know some things, but you might need to look up and do Google search of, like, what was going on? Where was this speech actually presented and given? And what's going on there and around, so like in America at the time period. So this one you might have to do a little Google research. And then for all of these, you're just going to go through, look at the speech, and you're going to try to figure it out, and you're going to do bullet points. And again, for pathos and logos down here at the bottom, or even the argument or claim, you may end up wanting to copy some of the words from the speech word for word. That's okay. Just make sure you keep them in quotation marks and you cite it when appropriately. All right. When you are all done, you can absolutely bring it and look at it against my kind of answer key. But again, really try to work good at making sure that you have everything on here because this is going to help you do very well on your mastery check. All right, good luck.